Hey everybody, Miss Dietrich here. We're taking a look at number 7, which I believe has a typo because I think the signs here are backwards. They're asking which number makes this inequality true? And we're comparing a negative 5.5, and then we need to find something that's in the middle of that value and the value negative 5 1/4. Step 1 would be to rethink all the fractions as decimals. So if we rethink this negative 5.5, that comes out to be a negative 5 5/10. We would do 1 divided by 2 to get the decimal part of that. If we did 1 divided by 4, we would get the 25/100ths part of this. So the next step is to take each of the choices. We know that they're all going to be a negative 5 and something. To get the something, we have to take the numerator and divide it by the denominator. Take the numerator and divide it by the denominator. And when we do, we get the repeating 6 thing going on. So that would be a negative 5 6/10 with the bar notation. If we do choice B and turn it into a decimal, we know it's going to be a negative 5 and something. To get the something, we would do 1 divided by 8. 1 divided by 8. And if we work it out evenly, we would get this. But if we round it to the nearest hundredth place, just to make it easier to graph, we might round that as negative 5 13/100ths. If we look at choice C, we know that the whole number is going to be a negative 5. To get this 4/10, we would do 2 divided by 5, or 2 divided by 5. And that works out evenly. We get the 4/10. To get the decimal equivalent of this, we know it's going to be a negative 5 and something. Then we would do 7 divided by 12. Here's 7 divided by 12. And we can stop when we have enough information to properly place the decimal on our number line here. All right, so these are our approximations for each of the letter choices. And what I've done here is I've zoomed in on this section of the number line. So we're looking at values that are between a negative 5 and a negative 6. If we were to plot a negative 5.5, that would be right here where this blue line is. And if we plot a negative 5 25/100ths, that would be approximately where this blue line is. And we need to find something that falls in the middle. Now, if we approximate each of the letter choices on this number line, if we went ahead and plotted a negative 5 6/10 with the bar notation, that would be just past this value. So I put a little point here, A. If we plotted this, that would be about right here, negative 5 13/100ths. In fact, it might be a little bit closer, but that's good enough for the estimate. For choice C, if we plotted that, that would be about right here, negative 5 4/10. And then if we plotted choice D, negative 5 58/100ths, that would probably be, maybe not quite that far over to the left, but, definitely to the left of this. All right, so if we look at what's the only choice that's actually in that range, and I have the range highlighted here in yellow, the only choice that's in that range is choice C, so we're going to go ahead and pick choice C.